may problema kami. Ang totoo po niya, ang unang sangguni is, pwede bang idemanda si Dennis Cunanan? I'm sorry to have to say this dahil kilala ko rin po si Cunanan. No? Pero dahil talo na sila, ang tanong din is it worth it to fight?
This is a common knowledge that Attorney Harry Roque worked as the spokesperson for former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. I would assume that ever there will be erroneous decision part of the President, Attorney Harry Roque calling them correcting or stopping President from pursuing such erroneous action. Will the resource speaker agree to this?
I do not think I had that function. I could only speak for the President. I could not actually countermand him. I could not correct him. He is my principal.
Harry Roque. With all due respect, Attorney, Mr. Chair, this is a common knowledge that Attorney Harry Roque worked as the spokesperson for former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Does our resource speaker confirm this?
Yes, Madam Chair. Mr. Chair.
And Mr. Chair, can we please direct the resource speaker to describe ano po ba ang trabaho ng isang resource speaker ng Presidente?
As spokesperson, I was addressing the Malacanang Press Corps 3 times a week. I was preparing press releases on behalf of the President, and I was answering queries from the media on behalf of the President.
And will the resource speaker agree if I would say that a spokesperson position is a position of trust and confidence?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And by position of trust and confidence, that President is giving you full trust and confidence in all matters that might be within or even relevant to charge of function as presidential spokesperson. Does the resource speaker agree?
Mr. Chairman, subject to regular consultations with the President.
And for the information of the committee, by the position of trust and confidence, the moment the President lost the trust and confidence, the person can anytime terminate this official.
I confirm that, Mr. Chairman. I was appointed to a position rank of cabinet.
I understand as well that Attorney Roque is one of the lawyers, the matter of fact, internationally. Can you please enlighten us on your background as a lawyer?
I have been teaching international law in UP as well as in American University, National University of Singapore, total of more than 20 years already until now. And I was past president of the Society of. I'm also a member of the List Council.
And having earned that reputation in the legal circle, Mr. Chair, and being the presidential spokesperson as well, I would assume that ever there will be erroneous decision part of the President, Attorney Harry Roque calling them correcting or stopping President from pursuing such erroneous action. Will the resource speaker agree to this?
I do not think I had that function. I could only speak for the President. I could not actually countermand him. I could not correct him. He is my principal.
But considering, Mr. Chair, that he is a lawyer and a spokesperson as well, pagka ho ba may maling desisyon ang Presidente, will you not volunteer for legal expert correct the President?
Unless I am asked for my opinion, Mr. Chair, I will not volunteer, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of Attorney Harry Roque to PD 9. This is described as the Charter of POGO. And as a matter of fact, it defines what illegal gambling is. I also wish to invite his attention to Republic Act number 9487, which extends franchise of POGO another 5 years. Again, it defines what illegal gambling is. Ultimately, Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of Attorney Roque to Executive Order number 3. I wish to state for the record, Mr. Chair, that for the very first time, the term online gaming was mentioned in Executive Order number 13. This is something which is not mentioned, which is not provided in PD 1869, as well as in RA 9487. May I ask the resource speaker, when the President issued Executive Order number 30, don't you think he legislated?
I am unable to make an opinion because when I was a spokesperson, legal matters such as these are directed to the Presidential Legal Counsel or to the Office of the Solicitor General or to the legal office of the Office of the President under the Executive Secretary.
Mr. Chair, this representation wishes to solicit the opinion of expert, our resource speaker, Attorney Harry Roque. With that number of things he has come across Executive Order number 3. This is the potential issue. Time of Roque Duterte mentioning time term that was never mentioned PD 1869 and even in RA 9487. I hope we can be enlightened by the legal expert of our reason. When the President should go number 3, fighting for the term online game time. Don't you think, Attorney Roque, the President legislated?
Again, Your Honor, I am unable to answer because that is not within my expertise. You've mentioned that my expertise in the field of public law, having taught and practiced that, and I am sorry because I'm not very familiar with Executive Order number 13. In fact, my only knowledge of Executive Order number 13 was in the last hearing when former Chair Domingo said that President Duterte regulated online gambling through Executive Order number 13. But I am unable to give an opinion now, not being thoroughly familiar with the EO as well as the underpinnings behind the issuance of Executive Order number 13. I'm so sorry, Your Honor, it's not within my field of expertise.
With all due respect to our resource speaker, Mr. Chair, I find it strange na sa dami po ng hearing na ina-attendan niya, both in the Senate and in the Congress, all pertaining to POGOs, he have not come across EO number 13, from which the POGOs or the online gaming started. But I'm sure for the next concern that I wish to raise, our resource speaker is very much familiar with, because this is fundamental in the study of law. There is in law the principle of separation of powers. And I wish to share the case of Belgica versus Ochoa, GR number 208566, November 19, 2013, on the constitutionality of the Priority Development Assistance Fund. For the information of the Filipino people, I wish to read. The principle of separation of powers refers to the constitutional demarcation of the three fundamental powers of the government. In the celebrated words of Justice Laurel in Angara versus Electoral Commission, it means that the Constitution has blocked out, with deft strokes and in bold lines, allotment of power to the executive, the legislative, and the judicial departments of the government. To the legislative branch of the government through Congress belongs the power to make laws. To the executive branch of the government through the President belongs the power to enforce laws. To the judicial branch of government through the court belongs the power to interpret laws. I wish to go back to Attorney Roque. Attorney Roque, don't you think that the President encroached upon the power of the Congress when he issued Executive Order number 13 providing for online gaming?
Well, Mr. Chair, first and foremost, I argued that case of Belica. I was lawyer in the Supreme Court for Mr. Belica, and I confirmed the principle of separation of powers. However, as I said, although it is not my expertise, I will give my opinion, my candid opinion. And that is, under our scheme of things, executive issuances, legislative enactments are all presumed to be constitutional unless proven otherwise. So the status of Executive Order number 13, unless challenged in court, is that it is presumed to be constitutional. Executive orders being in the nature of implementing existing legislation, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, there's a principle in law. When the law does not provide, we should not provide. When the law does not include, we should not include. If the substantive law creating PAGCOR does not provide for online gaming, then no executive issuances should provide for online gaming. Let us all be reminded by the legal maxim, inclusio unius est exclusio alterius. Kung wala naman pong sinabi dun sa substantive law, then the procedural law should not provide. Let us be reminded that the procedural law should always yield in favor of the substantive law. Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of the committee to Executive Order number 13, the presidential issuance which provides for the very first time for the term online gaming, the term that was never mentioned in the legislation that was passed by Congress. In the 8 whereas clause, it says, clarifying the extent of authority of gambling regulators, particularly with regards to online gaming. And then we have Section 3, clarification on online gambling, which technically defines what online gambling is. And then under Section 4, Mr. Chair, it emphasizes the oversight function of the Office of the President over all forms of gaming, and that includes online gaming. I humbly submit, Mr. Chair, that EO number 13 brings online gambling into life. And I do not understand, Mr. Chair, why this should circumvent the law that was passed by Congress, creating the PAGCOR and providing the authorities to regulate all the gaming and gambling activities. Once again, Mr. Chair, I wish to raise the reason why the principle of separation of powers is very important. The principle of separation of powers and its concepts of autonomy and independence stem from the notion that the powers of the government must be divided to avoid concentration of these powers in any one branch. The division, it is hoped, would avoid any single branch from lording its power over the other branches or the citizenry. To achieve this purpose, the divided power must be wielded by co-equal branches of government that are equally capable of independent action in exercising their respective mandates. Lack of independence would result in the inability of one branch of government to check the arbitrary or self-interest assertions of another or others. To wind up, Mr. Chair, I wish to state for the record that when the President issued Executive Order number 13, it is the humble submission of this representation. He legislated, he amended, he repealed the law, an act which violates the fundamental principle of separation of power. The executive should not encroach upon the power to legislate that belongs exclusively to the Congress. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. So in other words, Pagcor, ang daming online gaming. Hindi lamang Pogo. Di ba? We have like e-bingo. Di ba? E-loto. Ano pa iba? Ha? Pigo. So, hindi, isabong. Wala na isabong eh. So, in other words, lahat ng E. Di ba? So, Al. So, kasi ang daming E nito eh, di ba? But we are focusing only on the Pogos eh. Maybe you have to consider this eh. Kasi maraming, baka may mag-question eh. No? And I think we have to legislate. If we wanted really to make this as legal as possible and to follow the law because we are all abiding citizen. So, we need some amendments on the existing law para to strengthen yung ating operation. Because if you follow the narrative of Congressman Luistro, it all follows that all those E are all illegal. Am I correct? Chairman, I'll thank you. Sige, Chairman.
Well, as has been explained in previous hearings, the real basis of PAGCOR is the said EO that was issued then by former President Duterte. So, I suppose unless it is questioned, unless it is brought to court or questioned by whoever, then it will remain to be the law that regulates the entire online gaming industry. I believe that also PAGCOR is here to regulate. And for the information of everybody, prior to my assumption to office, truly what was seen is there is really a birth of a new kind of gaming. Originally, it was just land-based casinos, but at the outset when the pandemic came, then the birth of e-gaming really prospered. And very clear from the data that we have now, Chairman, the trajectory of e-gaming is just already too high. No? And if we will not regulate it, then this all goes to the gray market. But with proper regulation, and that is what PAGCOR's leadership is doing now, we're able to regulate all these underground or gray market players, and in turn, we are able to collect revenue, which we give back not only to the government but to our countrymen, the Filipino people.
Okay. Thank you,
Mr.
Chairman
Chair.
Altenco.
Mr. Chair, may I interject in relation to your question?
If Congressman Chairman Ace Barbers will allow it, we will allow you to
May I,
interject.
Chairman
Okay daw.
Barber?
Go ahead.
Executive Order number 13 is an order of the former president against all illegal gambling, di ba? With this, makikita natin dito that those that are giving licenses to gambling are actually protected in this executive order. For example, PAGCOR is not the only one given the right to give licenses. But even Republic Act number 7922 creating the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority can manage gambling actually. Republic Act 9490, tayo rin ang gumawa nito. Created the Aurora Pacific Economic Zone and Freeport Authority also can manage online gambling. Republic Act number 9728, created the authority of the Freeport area of Bataan, can also manage and operate online gambling. Therefore, Mr. Chair, it is not only PAGCOR, and I believe that PAGCOR should not only be the one invited here, but even those that are officers of the Cagayan Economic Zone, Aurora Pacific Economic Zone, and Freeport area of Bataan should be invited to shed light on gambling. Particularly, they also know what illegal gambling means. Mr. Chair, yun lang po.
Mr. Chair, can I make an interjection?
Okay, go ahead.
As a comment to the Honorable Abante, he made mention of the Aurora Special Economic Zone, Cagayan Economic Zone and Freeport, and Port area of Bataan. I just wish to enlighten the committee that all of these three free zones were created by virtue of a law that was passed by Congress. That those are RA 9490, RA 7922, and RA 9728. The law is the one which provided this free economic zone, the power to operate an online gambling. But the point which is at hand, Mr. Chair, during the interpellation with our resource speaker is the power that was assumed by the PAGCOR by virtue of EO number 13. It went beyond what is provided in the legislation that was passed by Congress. And to be specific, Mr. Chair, that is PD 1816 and RA 9487. Well, I have to admit I am not so certain about PD 1869 because this was passed in 1983 before the 1987 Constitution. Pasensya na po, ang inabot ko lang po 1987 Constitution. But I assume that during that time, perhaps the President still has the power to pass a law, but as effective 1987 Constitution, strictly, we are following the separation of powers, meaning it is only the Congress who can pass the law. And to go back to my point, Mr. Chair, if 9487 does not provide for the power to issue license to online gambling, then EO 13 is an ultra vires issuance for providing one, which is not provided in the substantive law.
Mr. Chair, in relation to the question, to the manifestation of Congresswoman Luistro.
Okay.
PD number 1869 was created granting was the one that granted the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation PAC, US PAGCOR, but it was actually changed into a law during my time in 2005 when Congress passed a law giving PAGCOR another 25-year franchise. But what I'm saying is this to Chairman Altenco, ito po bang mga free economic zone na ito ay nakikipag-ugnay po ba sa inyo when it comes to online gambling?
Actually, Congressman Abante, hindi po sila nakikipag-ugnayan sa PAGCOR. Sapagkat yung pong SESA, tulad nung nabanggit earlier, may sarili po sa charter po nila specific. Doon po sa Bataan, paliwanag po doon na hindi sila pwedeng mag-issue doon sa charter po ng Bataan. Very specific po doon. Hindi po sila pwede mag-issue ng gaming license without the consent or approval of PAGCOR. Pero doon po sa SESA at saka doon po sa APECO, wala pong ganung provision. So, kung susundin po natin yung nilalaman at sinasad ng batas, yung pong Bataan lang ang dapat makipag-ugnayan sa amin. Yung pong SESA, hindi po dapat makipag-ugnayan sa amin. Yung pong APECO, hindi po dapat makipag-ugnayan sa amin. Pero yung Bataan po, maliwanag po, may provision po sa kanilang charter na hindi sila makapagbibigay ng lisensya sa anumang uri ng sugal hanggang hindi pinapayagan ng PAGCOR.
Therefore, Mr. Chair, may I make a manifestation here, no? I'm going, seeing that all of these economic zones were created by law. I'll be filing an amendment, no? Prohibiting the economic zones to manage and operate online gambling, and that all online gambling should be handled by PAGCOR. That is only a manifestation, Mr. Chair.
Duly noted and taken, Congressman Abante.
Okay, thank you so
Chair,
much, Congressman.
Very quick manifestation only.
Okay, go ahead.
I remember during the last hearing, we invited Pyra and Lucas and Toto Kausing. I just want to manifest that I have here a letter actually addressed to the co-chairs, manifesting that Pyra Lucas is not feeling well, and Toto Kausing never received an invitation. So let us give another chance to Pyra Lucas.
No,
and
we have invited him. I think the COMSEC is telling us that...
she has a letter, Mr. Chair.
No. I mean, the COMSEC invited the Toto Kausing and Pyra Lucas. So what's... can you kindly explain, COMSEC, yung... we have invited Pyra Lucas and Toto Kausing.
Toto Kausing, Mr. Chair, never received an invitation. According to the letter.
According to the COMSEC, I was asking a while ago if we invited all these personalities that we asked to be present on today's hearing. And can you kindly reply to the query?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the invitation to Mr. Toto Kausing. We sent it via courier and also via email, sir.
So, nag-send ka via courier kay nung Friday. But according to their letter, ano ba to? Letter to Nino? Anong reason ni Pyra Lucas why she's not here? So ang reason ni Pyra Lucas, meron daw siyang sakit. But we invited her. And she wrote a letter that she's sick. While kay ano naman, sino isa? Si Toto Kausing was invited as well through courier and email. But no response. So yun po yun. So we will be inviting them again in the next hearing since magkakaroon pa pala tayo at merong motion ng ating member. So we'll be inviting them over. So Congressman Chairman Ace Barbers, now you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. How many minutes do I have?
Because you allowed Congressman Abante 2 minutes will be deducted in your 5-minute interpellation. So you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Mr.
I
Chair.
think Congresswoman Bernadette Herrera, I saw her. Okay. So she's acknowledged as well. Sige, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, most of the questions na itatanong ko sana will be directed to the former PAGCOR chair, no, si Andrea Domingo. And it seems that she's not here. Did she submit to the committee an excuse letter on why she is not present in today's hearing, Mr.
Yes,
Chair?
oo. She submitted a letter and her attorney is attorney po niya is si Felix Villa is here if you want to ask question.
No, Mr. Chair, of course, very compassionate naman si Chairman and he will allow excuse letters, especially kapag health ang pinag-uusapan. I will not anymore ask the lawyers because I only would like to direct my questions to the former chair, Andrea Domingo. Since she's not here, let me ask questions to Miss Baterna.
Baterna.
Anong first name?
Ronalyn.
Ronalyn, bago ka nagtrabaho sa Lucky South 99, saan ka nagtatrabaho?
Nag-apply po ako.
Hindi, bago ka nag-apply sa Lucky South 99, saan ka nagtatrabaho?
Casino po.
Sa paki ano mo lang yung complete saan casino?
Sa Midori po, sa Clark.
Sa Clark. So anong trabaho mo sa casino, Ronalyn?
Online shuffler po. Nagsishuffle
Online?
po ng cards.
Okay.
Opo.
Okay. So diyan ka una nagtrabaho bago ka napunta sa Lucky South 99.
Opo.
Meron ka bang kakilala na taga Lucky South 99 na niyaya ka na lumipat? Kasi may trabaho ka na dun sa di ba? Sa casino.
Wala po.
Ano yung reason ba't ka napunta dun sa Lucky South 99?
Napasya lang po kasi ako nun sa may Grand Palacio since nag-resign na po ako sa Midori. Tapos may nakapagsabi lang po na casino daw po yun. Since galing naman po akong casino, so tinry ko pong mag-apply.
Okay. Pwede bang, I hope you don't mind, no? Tatanungin ko lang ulit. Kung willing ka sumagot, magkano sweldo mo dyan sa Lucky South 99?
Starting po sabi po nila 17.
17,000.
Opo, a month.
Tapos, tumaas.
Tumaas po nung parang binigyan po nila ako ng additional na trabaho which is yung nagpipirma nga daw po.
So, in-increase niya lang yung sweldo mo.
Opo.
Ikaw ba ay, you may refuse to answer, ikaw ba ay dalaga o may asawa?
Ano po yun, sir?
Ikaw ba ay may asawa o dalaga?
Single mom po.
Single mom. So, Mr. Chairman, the reason why I'm asking that because yung susunod na tanong is related dun sa income ni Miss Ronalyn. Miss Ronalyn, meron kang sasakyan?
Meron po.
Pwede bang malaman ano sasakyan mo?
Honda City po. Second hand lang po.
Honda City. Okay. Wala ka bang Ferrari?
Wala po.
Sigurado ka?
Opo.
Mr. Chairman, we have a video that will show that Miss Ronalyn Baterno is seen driving a red Ferrari. Kaya nga gusto kong malaman kung sa kanya yung Ferrari yun.
Pwede ba nating ipalabas siya na chairman na Barbers?
Pwede nating ipakita. I will show it to you later, Mr. Chair.
Siguro, while waiting sa dun sa video, may we ask as well, Ronalyn Baterna, I hope you don't mind, asking this, because we wanted to dig deeper and ferret out the truth, So, single mom ka.
Yes po.
So, pwede ba malaman kung Pilipino or Chinese yung tatay ng anak mo?
Filipino po.
Pilipino siya?
Opo.
Okay. So, you have the birth certificate for that child? Can you kindly submit the birth certificate in this hearing? Can you submit the birth certificate?
Opo, sure po.
Please submit to this hearing, okay?
Opo.
Sige, thank you. So, we'll be showing the video.
Here's the video of the, so, sino may-ari nung sasakyan na Ronaldin? Ronaldin mo siya? Yeah, pwede pa pakita yan sa akin. Sinong may-ari nung sasakyan? Miss Ronaldin, sino may-ari nung sasakyan?
Please answer the question of Congressman Barbers, Ronaldin.
Hindi ko po nakikita, Your Honor. Okay po pa.
Pwede ka bang lumapit dito para ipakita ko sa ito?
The resource person is requested to approach Congressman Barbers.
Okay, hindi pa wala tayo suspended. So, okay, can you kindly proceed, Congressman Barbers? Probably will not be showing the other video anymore because,
Yes, Mr. Chair, I agree. Siguro we'll just provide the committee copies of the videos.
sabihin na lang sa COMSEC para...
for our record.
Sige, okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes, that's the next
you can proceed.
The next question na itatanong natin doon, nakita mo yung video, ikaw ba yung nasa video?
Yes po.
Ikaw din yung nagda-drive ng Ferrari.
Opo.
So, she admitted, Mr. Chair, that she's the one driving the vehicle, and the vehicle that she was driving is apparently, sinong may-ari nung vehicle?
Mr. Cruz po.
Mr.
Cruz.
Name.
What's the full name of Mr. Cruz?
Roberto Cruz po.
Ruperto Cruz. Anong relationship mo kay Mr. Ruperto Cruz?
Parang friends lang po.
Friends lang, ha? Sige, Mr. Chair, I'll get back to her later. Let me just proceed. Let me proceed to my next question to another resource person, Mr. Chair.
So, friends, is he not the father of your son?
Hindi po.
Hindi, ah.
So,
Sige, go ahead.
okay, so babalikan ko na lang si Miss Baterno.
Balikan natin.
Okay. Dito naman tayo sa ating inimbitahang resource persons. Yung tatlong nagsabi na merong identity theft, no? May I know the names, Mr. Chairman?
The what?
Yung mga may nag-identity theft daw.
Si Linsangan, si Bernie Chang, Edwin Ang, Julian Linsangan, Marion Chua.
Okay. So, Mr. Linsangan,
Yes, Mr. Chair. Good
oh,
afternoon.
kailan mo nalaman na ginamit yung pangalan mo?
Actually, Mr. Chair, yung isa ko pong kaibigan nung June 26, nag-message po sa akin, morning, na sinasabi niya sa akin na, pare, sikat ka na, nasa news ka. So, hindi ko po, binaliwala ko po yon kasi may trabaho po ako nung araw na yon. Ngayon, nung lunch po, tumawag po yung kaibigan ko na yon na, pare talaga nasa news ka na ngayon. So, nung time na yun po, tinawagan ko yung wife ko kung pwede i-search niya yung sinasabi ng kaibigan ko na nasa news daw ako. So, yung wife ko po nag-search po via Google. Then nakita nga po niya na yung pangalan ko nasa news na po ng bulletin, ng iba pa pong news one. Tapos nag-search din po siya sa Facebook. Meron din pong post sa Facebook na nandun po yung pangalan ko sa isang content creator.
So, nalaman mo lang na ginamit yung pangalan mo nung lumabas na ito sa news.
Yes, Your Honor.
At ganun din kay Mr. Ang at saka kay Mr. Ano. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, actually ako po ang nag-inform sa kanila na nakita ko po yung pangalan namin dun sa isang write-up nung isang creator.
Wala ba kayong kakilala na incorporator o officer nung Lucky South 99?
Mr. Chair, wala po talaga.
Kahit isa?
Kahit po isa.
Wala ba kayong kilalang kaibigan nung may-ari nung Lucky South 99 na maaaring pinakilala sa inyo at nalimutan nyo lang?
Mr. Chair, wala po talaga.
Okay. So, ano yung ginawa nyo nung nalaman nyo na ginamit ang inyong identity?
Nung pong nalaman po namin yun, since ang nakita lang po namin sa news is Lucky South 99, so nag-inquire po ako sa SEC para ma-confirm po kung talagang yung pangalan namin nandun sa dokumento ng Lucky South 99. So nag-request po kami online sa SEC ng document ng Lucky South 99. Noong una po hindi namin makita pero nagpatulong po kami doon sa SEC kung paano mag-request. Dumating po yung request namin ng June 28 po kasi po by courier. Doon po na-confirm namin doon sa dokumento po ng galing SEC, andun po yung pangalan naming tatlo.
Hindi ba kayo nag-file ng kaso nung nalaman nyo? Hindi nyo ba kinasuhan si Lucky South 99?
Actually, Mr. Chair, nung chinek po namin dokumento, nag-backtrack kami. Nagkonsulta po kami sa abogado na kaibigan ko lang po. Dahil wala po kami pambayad ng abogado talaga. Nag-file po kami ng kaso po sa Makati Prosecutor's Office against Lucky South. And all officers po ng previous Lucky South outsourcing, Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Inc. po. Lahat po ng incorporators and officers po nila. Babasahin ko po ba?
Hindi na. Gusto lang namin malaman kung kayo ba ay gumawa ng aksyon matapos nyong malaman na nagkaroon ng identity theft sa inyo. Kasi
yes, Mr. Chair,
may pananagutan din sila dyan. Kaya
yes,
kayo ay nag-file ng kaso.
Yes, Mr. Chair, nag-file po kami ng kaso.
Sa RTC sa Makati?
Nasa Prosecutor's Office pa lang po.
Okay. So, nasa Prosecutor's Office pa lang?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sige.
Chairman, Ace, kasama ata yun doon sa mga kaso ng PAOK-TF. Kasama sila sa Kasi sila yung nandun sa incorporators eh. Mapapailan sila ng kaso because they are the one, yung mga names nila appeared on the corporations. So, basically, what will happen to them? So, mabigat naman yung depensa nila, di ba? Sige, Winston Casio.
Winston Casio po on behalf of PAOK. Mr. Chair, with regards to that question, our recommendation always is to file all relevant cases against officers and incorporators as shown in the paper and as shown as manifested by testimonies also. So, if we file the cases against them, they are given the equal opportunity before the panel of prosecutors to submit their counter affidavit to refute our allegations that they have something to do with Lucky South 99.
Pero yung tatlo ngayon, magkakakilala ba kayo?
Yes, Mr. Chair, magkakaibigan po kami.
Magkakilala kayong tatlo?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, isang bulto kayong kinuha, parang ano mga trabaho po ninyo, if I may ask?
Sir, Mr. Chair, ako po ay compliance officer po sa isang private company.
Ano po?
Compliance officer po.
Liaison officer.
Compliance officer.
Compliance officer. Anong kumpanya po?
Fireworks company po. Fireworks company.
Fireworks. Yung si Edgar.
Good afternoon po, sir.
Edwin.
Edwin po.
Can you speak louder, Edwin?
Sa appliance po ako formerly po.
Appliance?
Yes po.
Saan po?
Sa Anson po.
Sa?
Anson.
Anson. So,
Yes po.
So, you own...
No po, employee lang po ako dun.
Yung isa?
Sa fireworks company rin po yun.
Fireworks din. We were just wondering paano kayo pinili eh. Saka, yung bang mga TIN number nyo na nakalagay dun sa corporation, is it the same TIN number that you have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun? Exactly the same?
But, the one that is written po dun sa papers is...
Speak louder, please. Speak louder.
Yung sa TIN po namin, ang nakalagay po dun sa SEC is it was issued sa Angeles, Pampanga po. Pero originally, it was issued different places po. Like sa akin po, it was issued in Santa Cruz, Manila po.
Ang nakakapagtaka, paano nila nakuha yung mga TIN numbers nyo eh? Saka paano nila kayo na-identify? We're not saying na involved kayo ah. We're just wondering why. Magkakakilala kayo, magkakasama kayo, para yung mga TIN numbers nyo. And even your pictures, your passport, were included in the submission of all the documents in PAGCOR. I saw it eh.
If I may.
Yes.
Actually, nag-start po yan, Your Honor, nung 2023 po. Actually, nung pandemic days po kasi, I was selling this bottled tuyo. And then I met this guy, Mr. Dan De La Cruz. So, siya po ay constant seller po, constant buyer po nung aking binibenta. And then, nung natapos na po yung pandemic, nag-meet up po kami or nagkita po kami dun sa parking lot somewhere in Araneta po. And then, dun niya po ako ulit tinawag, sabi niya, brother, nagbebenta ka pa ba nung bottle tuyo mo? Then I told him, wala na po sir kasi nagkaroon na rin po ng problem yung supply. Then, dun niya po ako inalok, sabi niya, baka gusto mong mag-invest sa company na tinatayo ng boss ko. Then, nagsabi po siya kung magkano yung investment. Sabi po niya, at first is 15 million, pero hindi naman namin kailangan ibigay lahat. So sabi ko, sir, wala po ako ganong kalaking halaga. Sabi niya, no, 10% lang. So it means around 1.5. And sabi ko, sir, hindi po ako mayaman. Wala rin po akong 1.5. And then sabi niya, kung gusto mo, maghanap ka ng kasama mo. Yung inaalok po niya pertaining is online gaming po. So, nung sabi niya, maghanap ka ng kasama mo, kahit dalawa, at least tagpa 500,000, dun ko po silang dalawa inalok. Then, after po niya akong alokin ng time na yun, sabi ko, sige sir, maghahanap po muna ako ng kasama. And then, comes August 2023 po, hiningian niya na po kami ng mga IDs with TIN numbers and pirma para i-validate daw po sa PAGCOR. Magkakaroon daw po ng mga investigation like...
So, in other words, nagkaroon kayo ng interest because hindi mo right away ni-reject yung proposal. As a matter of fact, you talk to your two friends and you somehow agreed.
Yes po, Your Honor. Kasi syempre, since namamasukan...
So, hindi kayo... We thought random yung pagkakapili ng pangalan nyo. But basically, sino yung kumausap sa'yo ng pangalan?
Mr. Dan de la Cruz po.
Dante?
Dan de la Cruz.
Dan de la Cruz.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, you are in contact with him until now?
Wala na po, Your Honor. Nung nalaman po namin yung mga pangalan namin na naisama po dito sa korporasyon na to, agad po namin siyang tinawagan pero hindi na po namin makontak.
Dan de la Cruz. Meron kang picture ng Dan de la Cruz?
Wala po, Your Honor.
So, matagal mo na siya kilala?
Nung pandemic time po, nagpo-post po kasi ako online nung binibenta ko pong Battle Tuyo. Then, doon po siya unang na-meet up kasi tumawag po siya sa akin. Then, nag-meet up po kami sa parking lot sa may Quezon City para i-deliver ko po yung goods sa kanya, sir.
Okay. Congressman Barbers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So lumalabas, base sa kanilang sinasabi, na mukhang hindi talaga identity theft. Kasi kung identity theft, hindi nyo alam, no? Meron kayong, kasi nag-submit kayo ng ID, nag-submit kayo ng TIN, so kumbaga para kayong nabudol. Diba? Parang ganun yung dating. Okay, sige. Mr. Chair, babalikan ko na lang sila ulit later on, no? Dito naman ako sa sa issue tungkol sa kay General Karamat, no? Para once and for all masettle yung issue. General Karamat, isa sa issue yung pagkaka-relieve ng mga tao from CIDG na nagtrabaho at nag-raid dito sa POGO hub na ito. Marami kasing haka-haka na ang nag-order ng kanilang relief ay ikaw. Meron naman nagsasabi na merong higher authorities ang nag-order. Meron naman din nagsasabi na mga superior mo ang nag-order. No? Para lang magkaroon ng liwanag o maliwanagan ang lahat, pwede ba sa pagkakataong ito pakisabi nyo sino ang nag-order ng relief ng mga taong yon?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir, and to all the members of this committee, fellow workers in the government. Isang magandang hapon po sa ating lahat, sir. Sir, thank you for this opportunity to clarify doon, sir, sa mga pagka-relief ng mga tropa natin, sir, sa CIDG. On the part of Colonel Alejandro, ako po, sir, yung nag-relieve sa kanya, but nasabi naman ni Colonel Alejandro na before the operation in BAMBAN was conducted, he was already informed of the impending reshuffle. Nasabi na po yun ni Colonel Alejandro. Actually, hindi lang po si Colonel Alejandro yung na-relieve nung yung reshuffle ay naganap. 6 po sila na regional chief. At yung sinasabi nila, sir, na wipe up yung tao ni Colonel Alejandro, actually 2 lang po yung official na na-relieve. At I think nandito sila ngayon, sir. So sila na po ang magsabi what was the reason bakit na-transfer yung 2 opisyal. I think I submitted already to the committee secretariat regarding the reasons pagka-relieve ng mga sinasabi nilang na-wipe out doon, sir, sa Region 3 nung pagkatapos ng operation, sir, sa BAMBAN. Another thing, sir, hindi po na-dismiss po yung kaso or RFI as was previously mentioned. Actually, sir, yung kaso ay nag-prosper at lahat ng mga suspect na napailan ng kaso ay na-issuehan po ng warrant of arrest. On the part of Colonel Buyakaw, which was another operation conducted after a year, 2024, I received a memo coming from TDPRM as I presented in the previous hearing memo from Directorate for Personnel and Records Management directing me as the director of the CIDG to replace Colonel Buyakaw, Your Honor, sir. Yan lang po, sir.
Kanino ho galing yung order, General?
TDPRM, sir, Directorate for Personnel and Records Management, sir. So,
And sino po ang head niyan?
it was, the OIC din was General Bakay, sir.
Okay. Sige. Thank you, General Karamat. Kay General Bakay.
Thank you, Your Honor, sir.
General, sa'yo pala galing yung order.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Magandang hapon po, Mr. Chair.
Is that because you intend to reshuffle or there was a pending reshuffling of your men? Kaya nyo in-implement yung relief ng mga taong taga-CIDG?
Mr. Chair, the order to install Colonel Ana, necessarily relieving Colonel Buyakaw, came from our Chief PNP. As a matter of fact, he wanted to attend, Mr. Chair, to explain why there was a relief. The difference of time between the operation in BAMBAN led by Colonel Buyakaw was 1 month, Mr. Chair. March 17, yung order ko po, yung memo ko was April 17. There's a 1 month lull. Meaning when General Marbil took over, during the operation, Mr. Chair, kaya po nabanggit ko si General Acorda noon because it was during his time nung nagawa yung operation sa BAMBAN led by Colonel Buyakaw. It was during the time of General Acorda. Nung pinarelieve si Colonel Buyakaw, Mr. Chair, was the time of General Marbil. And nabanggit din po kanina ang position ng RFU NCR director. Usually, ang choice ng Chief PNP ang inuupo po dyan. Perhaps even General Acorda can attest to that yung nilagay niya as the RFU NCR, Colonel Buyakaw, was his choice. The same is true with General Marbil, our current Chief PNP. Si Colonel Ana ang gusto niyang maging director ng NCR RFU. It has nothing to do with the operations in BAMBAN led kay Colonel Buyakaw a month before, Mr. Chair. I hope that's very clear.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Salamat, General. Nandito po ba yung mga na-relieve? So, sa second round, Mr. Chair, I'd like to manifest my interest to ask questions later.
May I interject? Andiyan ata si Colonel Buyakaw. Andiyan ba si Colonel Buyakaw? Colonel Buyakaw, can you sit here? Baka we can ask him question na para at least in relation to what you're asking.
Dito pala. So, Colonel Buyakaw, was the relief order a surprise to you when you received it?
Sir, actually, sir, I was working on another case. Kasi tapos na kami doon sa BAMBAN, sir. And that's the time na lumabas yung order ko, sir.
So, hindi ka ba nagtaka?
Well, sir, kasi wala na si Sir Acorda na nag-install sa akin, sir. So, I expect, sir, na ganun, sir, mangyari.
Bakit ini-expect mo? Meron ka magandang trabaho, meron ka magandang achievement. Tapos, nirelieve ka. Anong nasa isip mo nun?
Well, sir, I believe, sir, kasi in the past, ang mga, sir, chief sa NCR, sir, is placed by the Chief PNP, sir.
Colonel, can I interject? Colonel Buyakaw, masama loob mo? Yes or no?
Sir, I'm just
yung totoo.
Police officer.
No. I'm asking you personally. Masama loob mo sa pagkakaalis sa'yo after a successful operation. You have to be, you are in front of the Filipino people. Masama loob mo dahil pagkatapos ng magandang operasyon, tinanggal kayo. Yes or no? Kasi malalaman natin, kung hindi masama loob mo, di okay. Masama ba loob mo? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Di ba? And you feel nade-demoralize kayo dahil nga successful operation nyo, tapos bigla kayong tatanggalin. Di ba? Kahit na sabihin natin that this is the practice of all these chippy NPs, ano? General Acorda, during your time, was there a situation wherein there is a successful operation, then a day after, tinanggal mo silang lahat? Was there an occasion?
During my time, sir, I cannot recall such situation, sir, because talagang duly informed naman ako sa lahat ng mga operation, and except if there are some demeanors in the operation conducted, doon lang nagkakaroon ng relief, sir.
Of course.
But as far as I can recall, sir, wala pong nangyaring ganun.
Of course, yun ang medyo masakit sa atin na after, ito yung hindi ko matanggap, honestly. When we have the last hearing, before I recognize Congressman Chairman Acop, hindi ko matanggap na after a successful operation, sasabihin natin that alam na naman nila na tatanggalin sila. Di ba? Sana hindi po gano'n ang naging procedure ng PNP. And as a matter of fact, marami sa inyo na na-demoralize dahil nga inilipat sila. Let's accept it. Ayan, katulad si Colonel Buyakaw, sinasabi niya, di ba? Personally. Di ba? Masakit. Kaya, I hope, before I proceed, the Chair would like to recognize Congressman Chairman Acop. Chairman Acop, you have the floor.
To put things in their proper perspective, Colonel Buyakaw, nasabi mo kanina na ini-expect mo na ma-relieve ka. Tama? Nung nawala si General Acorda.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Bakit?
Sir, as I said a while ago, sir, as experience yung napansin ko, sir, in the past, kung sino, sir, yung chief PNP, siya, sir, yung naglalagay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Retired na ako. I retired in 2001, 23 years. Nung ako rin ang nag-chief ng NCR CIS, ang chief PNP ang pumipili kung sino ang maging boss diyan. Di ba? Kaya ikaw ang pinili ni General Acorda. Right? Tapos nung naupo si General Marbil, nirelieve ka kasi siya ang pipili ng uupo doon sa unit na yan. That has been the tradition. Tama?
Yes, sir. Yes.
O kaya dapat hindi sumama ang loob mo dahil alam mo na yun ang tradition eh. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I continue.
Okay, so the Chair of Dangerous Drugs, Chairman Ace Barbers.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Pagpatuloy mo.
So, balikan na lang natin yung sa issue sa Philippine National Police. Gusto ko lang matanong yung PIDEA. Is PIDEA present?
Yes.
Yes,
Si,
Your Honor.
si Director Lasso.
Director General Lasso, mula nang nagumpisa yung mga congressional hearings ng dangerous drugs, public order, public accounts, at saka yung Committee on Human Rights, there seems to be a common denominator doon sa usaping yon. No? At hindi nawawala yung usapin tungkol sa drugs. No? Do you have any information that you wish to share to the committee with respect to perhaps your findings or your mga datos na nandiyan sa inyo, Director General Lasso?
Yes, Your Honors. This is our first time, for PIDEA to join this hearing. We have been actively participating in the committees on the EJK hearings and the Committee on Dangerous Drugs. In the hearings that we joined, we took note of the matrices or diagrams that were presented during these hearings, and when we went back to our office, we crafted a better diagram on how it can be clearly seen how they are connected with each other. And after we made that diagram, I shared it with PAOCC, Yusek Gilbert Cruz. Because inputted in that diagram is that there was a report which came out of the Senate hearings that a certain brother of Michael Yang, can I just refer to my... A certain brother of Michael Yang, who is Hu Zhang Yang, also known as Yang Hung Zhang, is an incorporator or part of Full Win Group of Companies and Paili Estate Group Corporation. Now, in the hearings of the Senate, it was revealed that Baofu Land Development Incorporated, wherein Mayor Alice Guo is an incorporator, received money from the joint account of Yang's brother, Hong Jiang Yang, and one, Yu Zheng Kan. Supposed to be, or reportedly, this money was used to bankroll Hongsheng Gaming Technology, the builder of POGO complex in BAMBAN, raided in March 13, Your Honors. And so, again, these are not part of our holdings. We just collated what we heard from Congress and from the Senate and came up with this diagram. And that's where we saw the connection of Mayor Go and Hong Jiang Yang, a brother of Michael Yang.
Okay, thank you, DG. Other than that information, wala nang ibang link or connection?
No more, Your Honor.
Okay. Sige, thank you, DG. Now, I'd like to direct my questions to a former colleague, Secretary Harry Roque. Alam ko, pagod ka na, Secretary, dahil you've been asked questions and some of those questions are repeatedly asked. No? Ako, for my sake and for my education and my enlightenment as well, I'd like to ask you questions that are very quick and very answerable only by yes or no. Is that okay?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, you said that you went to PAGCOR to accompany Ms. Cassandra Ong as a representative of Whirlwind Corporation.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. You were not there for Lucky South Pogo Company in any way, correct?
Yes, sir. I had no contacts at all with Lucky Star South.
Okay. Lucky South 99, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Whirlwind a Pogo company?
No, Mr. Chair.
Does Whirlwind have any transactions with PAGCOR?
No, Mr. Chair.
You also testified that with Whirlwind, that Whirlwind is a company that owns the land where Lucky South 99 Pogo is situated, correct?
They don't own the land. They lease the land and they own the buildings.
So they lease the land from
Cruz family.
From Cruz family. Okay, thank you. So Whirlwind has a lease agreement with Lucky South, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, yes.
Now, does the lease agreement need PAGCOR's approval for validity?
I have no information, Your Honor, if that is required.
Okay. Now, is PAGCOR a party to the lease agreement?
No, Your Honor.
The lease agreement is a private contract between Whirlwind and Lucky South 99.
Yes, Your Honor.
To the exclusion of the Philippine government, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, does Whirlwind need to be represented in PAGCOR in connection with this private contract?
No, Your Honor.
Did Cassandra Ong discuss this lease agreement with PAGCOR Chairman Altenco?
Not in that meeting, Your Honor.
So there were other meetings?
I do not know, but I suppose that because of the regulatory powers of PAGCOR, they have had to divulge who is the actual owner of the land, who is the actual owner of the premises. I do not know if that is a requirement.
Okay. Did Cassandra Ong and Chairman Altenco discuss the arrears of Lucky South 99 that it owes to PAGCOR?
Yes, they did, Your Honor.
Did they also discuss the application of Lucky South 99 with PAGCOR?
only to the extent that there are new guidelines to be issued for internet gambling, and in that meeting, they were given, in fact, a copy of the new guidelines.
And the new guidelines was not present when the time that Lucky South 99 had its first license.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, it had only been released in the same month of the meeting in the month of July. It was brand new, so to speak.
Okay. Now, days after that meeting in PAGCOR, did you call Attorney Fernandez of PAGCOR to follow up on the lease contract of Whirlwind and Lucky South?
Not days, months.
Months, I'm sorry.
Months.
Oh, yeah.
It was February. February, when I asked for what other lacking documents were required. So it was around February, if I'm not mistaken, Attorney Jeza. And it wasn't a call, it was just a text.
Okay. Did you call Attorney Fernandez several times to follow up on the application of Lucky South with PAGCOR?
No, Your Honor. Once I called to relay the message that Lucky South had hired a lawyer to prepare a requirement, MTPP, and then a third time I texted to ask what is the status of the application.
Okay. So, sabi mo rin na Secretary Roque na wala ka ring alam kung bakit sa records ng Lucky South 99 na na-retrieve ng PAOCC, nakalagay ang iyong pangalan bilang isang legal counsel.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, did you initiate the filing of a case against the Lucky South 99 for including your name without your consent?
No, Your Honor, because the first time I found out about it was in the Senate hearing, which was only last month.
And I believe that after the PAOCC raided the Lucky South 99, and upon discovery of this document, they came out with a press statement, press conference, showing that there is a document which bears the name of Attorney Harry Roque there. You're not aware of that?
I was aware of my name in the Senate hearing. It was Senator Risa Ontiveros that brought it out, Your Honor.
Salamat, Secretary Harry Roque. And I also remember that you mentioned in both hearings, both in the Senate and in the House, that you used to stay in that house in Tuba, Benguet.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The Tuba house in Benguet is owned by PH2 Corporation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct? So when you stayed in that house, Secretary Harry Roque, did you have to lease it with the PH2 Corporation?
No, Your Honor.
You did not?
I did not.
Then when you left the house, you had it leased to a certain Yuan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yuan? Is there a lease agreement between...
Yes, Your Honor. I submitted it to this committee, Your Honor.
There was a submission, Comsec, no? So, yung bang rental income that you made, the PH2 gained from that lease agreement between Yawan and PH2, where you are an incorporator, am I correct?
I am not an incorporator in PH2. I'm an incorporator in Biancham,
And
which in
Biancham
turn owns. Yes, Your Honor.
So did you reflect this, I suppose, in your salary?
Well, it was only for the year, Your Honor. It was not leased when I was in government. So it was leased after I was already in government. So
Sige.
it was not reflected in Salen, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. And siguro to give time to others as well, I just would like to manifest that in the second round, this representation would like to ask questions again. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You want to be included in the second round?
Yes.
Are you sure? Congressman Abante. Ano pala? Sige, Congressman Abante. Before you... sige, ikaw na muna nga. Huli na naman ako. Sige. Okay. Second round mo na to, di ba?
Yes.
So, I'll be asking muna ako muna. So, I'll be asking yung...
Ikaw na muna.
Because this is your second round, di ba?
Ha? Yes, your second round.
So, let's
I'm now the next.
allow muna yung mga May tanong lang ako sa sa PIDEA. PIDEA, General Lasso, have you encountered yung mga companies? You have coordination with PAOK already, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron na tayong mga coordination.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Chairman Akop.
I was about to give my time to the Honorable Abante kasi meron lang daw siyang tatanungin sa kapulisan. But since question yun na second round na pala siya, ako po hindi pa nakaka-first round. Pwede po bang mag-first round muna
Okay.
ako?
Congressman Akop, I thought Congressman Akop will not be asking question. But you are now recognized, Chairman Akop. Mamaya na tayo, General Lasso, ha? Okay.
Thank you. May I ask Secretary Roque, in the last hearing, you were required to submit to this committee the documentations confirming the ownership of the house in Pinewood subdivision, including the ownership structure of the corporation that owns the property. Have you submitted such?
I have a copy, a soft copy of the TCT
Ang
with
tanong
me.
ko po is, have you submitted such?
Hindi po, but I can submit po.
Thank you. Do you also, have you already submitted a copy of the lease contract between Yun Wan and your wife, Madam Myla Roque?
Yes, Your Honor.
Submitted already?
Submitted
Pamsec?
already, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have you already submitted the articles of incorporation and other relevant documents for PH2 Corporation, the corporation, as you have stated, that owns the house in Pinewood subdivision?
Your Honor, in the last meeting, Congressman Paduano said that it should be the SEC that should furnish this committee with those articles.
That's what the Honorable Paduano said. That's not what I said.
Nope. Well, I haven't submitted, Your Honor, but I was on the assumption that the SEC will bring it here. But that will be no problem. I can submit it, Your Honor.
Thank you. You were also required to submit documentation confirming your formal entry of appearance in the three courts: Municipal Trial Court of Porac, Pampanga, the RTC 114 of Angeles City, and the Court of Appeals in the Whirlwind Corporation case. Has this been complied?
Mr. Chair, it has been complied.
It has been complied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, may I know, Secretary Roque, when did Whirlwind Corporation get you as their lawyer?
Formally for the ejectment case in the month of August of 2023, Your Honor.
2023. So in other words, it's because of the ejectment case.
Yes, Your Honor.
No. Did you know that in the past, before you were taken as counsel, your friend, Miss Catherine Cassandra Ong, was part of Whirlwind Corporation and later on was also part of Lucky South 99?
I knew, Your Honor, that she was part of Whirlwind, and after our meeting with PAGCOR, she became representative of Lucky South for PAGCOR as well.
So, kayo po ay isang abogado. Ano po yung conclusion nyo ron?
Ang conclusion ko po, kilala ko siya bilang empleyada talaga ng Whirlwind. Kasi, matagal ko na po...
alam nyo rin po na empleyado rin siya ng Lucky South.
Hindi naman po, kasi nung nag-meeting po kami, dun lang siya naging representative ng Lucky South. At ang alam ko nga, hindi ka naman kinakailangan maging stockholder or officer ng licensee para maging representative, gaya po nung pinalitan niya na si Dennis Cunanan, na hindi naman po officer at hindi rin po stockholder ng Lucky South.
So you're not aware of the sublease agreements between Whirlwind Corporation and Lucky South 99, and there were 2 sublease agreements. Are you not aware of this?
Hindi po, nung nag-file po kami ng entry of appearance sa ejectment, kasi ang kaso po ng ejectment ay sa panig po ng mga cruise at sa panig ng whirlwind. So ang nagkakasuhan po ay cruise and whirlwind, hindi naman po kasama sa kaso ang Lucky South. So yung kasong hinawakan ko lang po is kaso ng cruise at ng whirlwind.
Yeah. Did you file a manifestation in court para po may quash yung warrant, search warrant, at saka para makuha yung mga documents doon po sa raid sa Lucky South 99?
Opo, may mga dokumento po ako doon na protektado po ng batas, yung mga bank documents po na ibinigay ko sa aking staff na nakitira doon sa Porac na naisa publiko po, at nakita ko nga po sa TikTok na naisa publiko yung mga dokumentong yon. So nag-file po ako ng motion to quash para maibalik po yung mga dokumento.
Ang sabi po nyo, mayroon po kayong mga privileged documents na nandun sa saan po?
Doon po sa renade na lugar sa Porac.
Saan po specifically? Doon sa place ng POGO Hub.
Doon po sa pag-aari ng whirlwind po.
So, parehas ang location ng whirlwind at saka Lucky South 99. That is what you're telling us.
Sila po may-ari talaga ng buong premises ng whirlwind na pinaupahan po nila sa Lucky South.
Hindi po totoo yun. Kasi ang may-ari ng lugar talaga ay yung mga cruise.
Yung lupa po.
Yung close friend ni Roslyn.
Mr. Chairman, yung lupa po, pero yung buildings po, sila nagtayo po.
Technicality na lang yun, attorney. Pero, bakit po kayo may kwarto doon?
Hindi po ako may kwarto doon.
Sino po?
Yung naging empleyado ko po na nag-aaral po sa isang aviation school sa Clark.
Bakit po siya nandun? Empleyado po ninyo.
Ex-employee ko po. Dahil nag-aaral po siya sa aviation school.
Ex na pala.
Ex
attorney,
na po.
Ex.
Opo, ex.
Pero bakit nandun pa yung dokumento mo sa kanyang kwarto?
Well, unang-una po kasi, yung dokumento po has something to do with the travel to Ukraine. May gera po kasi sa Ukraine at naanyayahan ako ng gobyerno ng Ukraine na sumapi sa isang peace conference. At minabuti ko naman dahil may gera nga doon na dapat meron akong kasama. So nagkaroon po ng pagpapalit ng plano, ura-urada, sinabi ko doon sa dating kong empleyado, umatras yung dalawang kausap ko na dapat kasama ko, subukan nating ihabol ang papeles mo. At nahihabol naman po dahil ang pagpasok sa Ukraine via Poland at binigyan naman po kami ng expedited visa ng Poland at ang visa naman po sa Ukraine ay binigay ng Ukrainian government. So kaya po nandun yun, kinakailangan ko magbigay ng affidavit of support. At dahil nakitira po doon yung aking ex-employee, doon po nahanap yung dokumentong yon.
Kailan po nawala na empleyado nyo yung tao po na yun?
Well, Marso of 2023, wala na po siya. Pero sa Malacanang po, kasama ko yan. So kasama ko po siya at isang buong team ng social media team hanggang ako po ay tumakbo para sa Senado. So that was November 2021 when I was deemed resigned. Pero yung grupo po nila nanatili sa akin hanggang eleksyon. And itong nakitira po sa POGO ay hanggang March of 2023. Pero meron pa po akong dalawang na-retain din hanggang month of August of 2023. Ngayon po, wala na akong kasama ngayon sa law office ko na nakasama ko dati.
Pwede ko bang isipin na kaya nandun siya sa POGO Hub na yun dahil sa pakiusap ninyo?
Well, pwede nyo pong maisip yun. Sa katunayan po, kasi nung August, akala po nila tapos na ang boxing kasi meron ng writ of execution po. Pero nung nag-file po kami sa RTC na motion to recall the writ of execution, hindi naman namin inaasahan, nagtagumpay po. So hindi sila napaalis kaagad, bagamat dapat by August napaalis na sila. So parang tinanaw naman po nila na utang na loob na hanggang ngayon po, hindi pa sila napapaalis doon, no? Dahil nagpunta naman kami sa Court of Appeals. At siguro po, tumanaw rin ng utang na loob at pinagbigyan yung aking dating tao.
So, kayo po ang nakiusap?
Hindi po. Ang nag-usap po talaga ay yung empleyado ko at saka si Kasiong.
Paano sila nagkakilala?
Well, nagpulong po kami matapos po ang isang pagbibista dyan po sa...
Kayo po ang nagpakilala?
Ako po nagpakilala. Ako nagpakilala.
Para sa iba pang karagdagang mga balita at impormasyon, ay huwag po nating kalimutang mag-like, share at comment sa video na ito, at huwag po rin nating kalimutang mag-subscribe to continue supporting us. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood, at naway tangkilikin po ninyo ang aming YouTube channel.